Hey, Cancerians, how y'all doing? Welcome. We are going to be taking a look at your August through September, your Lammas through Mabon season, seasonal reading here. So, your meditation was short but sweet. I heard the song from Greece. It's the You're the One That I Want. That song, You're the One That I Want. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Yeah, that one. And I'll just stop there. And then I saw like a larger than life image of the King of Cups, which is you in your masculine form. And I saw this King of Cups holding two bowls of water, like one in each hand. I got this sense of like balance and emotional balance and compassion and inner and outer harmony. And then I saw things start to shift, and I saw this King of Cups as you go and just set the bowls down and lay down and sort of take a nap and start well, before the nap was eating some grapes off a vine. It was very luxurious. And then I saw a nap happen. And then I saw these things like around him start to shift. There was like this huge, like larger than life slug or earthworm, kind of like Princess Smarty Pants, if anyone is familiar with that novel, with these larger than life, like fantastical, pets. One of them is like a larger than life slug came and sort of like was disturbing his sleep and was like going underground and things were shifting. And I saw these pieces of wood like being built into a platform, and a lot of things were happening while you, as the King of Cups, slept. And I got this feeling when the King of Cups woke up, or you, as the Cancerian Collective, woke up, there was this sense of like, a lot has changed in the time that I've been asleep. I feel like there's an aspect of this that is speaking to you guys are really, really good at finding your emotional comfort in even these small things. You guys are really, really good at that, right? You're ruled by the moon. You're pretty good with change. You understand that change is like the cycles of the moon. You're kind of hardwired for that. But there feels like, well, I don't want to say there's like a dream deferred or like something that is a really important part of you and your sole purpose and why you're here that maybe you haven't given as much time or attention to, or that got lost in the shuffle, or that you would like to go and reclaim. There's something about that that just feels incredibly important. So, your animal for this time period is the panther. Now, this is fascinating because it is fire energy, but the panther it relates to the tower and the tarot, which is Scorpio energy, which is a huge shift. Sometimes an unwelcome change that happens suddenly, right? That's kind of what I was seeing in your meditation. I kind of feel like with that song, You're the One That I Want, and taking a nap and waking up, a lot has changed. I feel like there is something inside of you that understands that there could be more time spent on reaching your greatest potential. Is there a part of your experience in which you're coasting, whether in your self-care, your relationship, the work that you do, but it feels like there's a coasting aspect to this, that just feels like your soul is like, wait a minute, I am here for a purpose. I'm on a mission. Like, this is what I want to do. I don't want to get so, caught up in the, ease of things that I forget like to push myself and grow and challenge myself and take risks, right? So you're coming through as the Five of Pentacles, which uses wilted flower, wilted rose here. And this Five of Pentacles, five being the number of change, this is feeling separate or apart from what you desire and where you belong. This is feeling like I missed the boat somehow and I ended up somewhere that doesn't exactly give me the nutrients on a soul level or on an emotional level that I need. Like that rose needs some sunlight and some water. You know what I mean? And I feel like, where is your sustenance? Where's your sustenance? Where's your creative sustenance? Where's your emotional sustenance? How are you faring in that way? It just feels like there's this part of you. I'm feeling to notice a really good way, a really good diagnostic around this, y'all, is social media and media in general. Notice when you're scrolling through social media what you see that triggers you, or when you're watching a movie or reading a book, what triggers you, and then pay attention to those triggers. Your triggers are your shadow's love language, okay? And I feel like there's something coming up for you that wants to get your attention. If you see something like let's say you're scrolling on social media and you see that your friend posted that they were just promoted or just got a job or booked a gig, and you feel a pang of jealousy, that is really, 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 really good information for you to look at yourself and go, oh, well, what in me like feels like, oh, I'm missing that. Like if you feel anything other than like pure joy for them and contentment, that's really good information. It's golden information. And you can use that as a roadmap to kind of block out what within you, within your soul, knows that it's not exactly where it wants to be completely, right? So just use those moments as an opportunity. So, in your place of challenges, you have the Four of Wands. Now, this is really, really interesting because this is the 1111 key, right? Wands rule the realm of the actions that we do or don't take around the work that we love to do, around our passions, around our soul purpose. The Wands rule the realm of soul purpose and fire. So, the fact that this is the 1111 key, to be honest, that it's in the challenge place, there's also an aspect of this that speaks of enjoying how far you've come and a certain complacency and going, oh, I've done really well, I've come really far. If this was your advice, I would say appreciate how far you've come, right? I feel like this came up in the Virgo reading, maybe. Appreciate how far you've come, celebrate the small victories. But when this is in the place of challenge, I would say push yourself. When was the last time you took a risk? When did you challenge yourself? When did you put yourself out there so that you could actually go after your dreams or promote your soul growth or be daring in some way? Daring Greatly by Brene Brown. I just saw that flash through my mind. It could be a good book for you. Something about this, right? In your place of advice, this is fascinating because you've got the 10 of Pentacles here. So this is about legacy, ancestry, but also thinking long term, looking at the bigger picture. And I want to say to you, your advice is, what is your legacy? It can be a really wonderful way to clarify things for yourself. It's like, what is my legacy? What am I leaving behind? How am I here to put my personal print on the world? How am I leaving the earth better than how I found it? All of those kinds of questions, right? What is my living legacy even? Right? Am I fulfilling my purpose in a way that just feels incredibly intentional and activated for me? Or am I just sort of going along to get along? Am I being in favor of other people's goals or just sort of, deprioritizing what matters to me in favor of other people or other things? There's something about this for you. Now, in your place of victory, this is really beautiful. You have the Three of Pentacles here. Now, this speaks of teamwork, but also speaks of mastery. This is the Master Artisan key, right? The Pentacles are about our physical experience, right? Just about like the 10 of Pentacles here. They speak of our home life. Oh, and the Five of Pentacles, that's Pentacles. Our home life, our physical experience, the money that we make, our physical self-care, all of that, right? So the fact this is coming up in your place of victory, why am I hearing the power of three will set us free? Like Charmed, hello. I really feel like there's a certain partnership or a certain collaboration that wants to happen. I do. Keep your ears open. If someone comes to you with an idea or someone just says something off the cuff or you see something on social media, it's like, hi, looking for a collaborator or hi, looking for advice or whatever have you. Really, really use your Cancerian superpower of intuition and stay connected to those nudges of divine inspiration because I feel like there's a collaboration or a point of inspiration that could change things a lot for you. Even if this is going to watch someone give a talk that inspires you or listening to a TED talk that really inspires you to action. Sometimes that's all it takes. And then we're inspired to take action and the path is laid out and suddenly we're in a very different place before we know it. How many times have you heard people say, or even if you're in your own life, you're like, you know what, I heard that person give a talk and they changed my life. Or that movie changed my life because it helped me see something in myself that I was missing, or whatever it is. There's something about that for you. Look out for those opportunities. I feel like there's going to be a lot of gold in that for you. Really, really beautiful. It feels like illumination. So in your outcome here, you have Five of Water, which is Five of Cups, another five here. Traditionally, this speaks of a need to shift your perspective, to look at what is working over what isn't working. I have a feeling that there's a wake up call coming to you, and I feel like that's what this Tower Panther is commenting on. I feel like this wake up call is coming, but it feels quite internal. Like it's going to be a sounding system where you're like, oh, I think I made a series of decisions that deprioritized this thing that used to be really important to me. Or I feel like I made a series of decisions to, give a lot of time and focus to this other person's dream. And I've, regulated mine to the basement of my experience, whatever that is. There's this fairy on the shore here that's like, hello, I'm right here. There's a cup here for you. Don't mourn how things have been. Don't mourn how you got to this. Are those crabs? Oh my God. Hello, Cancerians, crabs there. I just noticed that. It's a new deck I'm using. Really looking out, okay, the past is the past. What could be in the future for me? What could be in store? What could repurpose this experience that I learned from it and know that tomorrow is a new day and my potential, right, is ahead of me. There's something about this, a shift in perspective. And I feel like this is an inner thing. It's like an internal thing where you know very well that there's something that is vying for your attention. Now, in your Lammas oracle here, we have number 8, community service, which is interesting because Lammas is the month of August. That's the 8th month of the year. 8 is also the number of financial abundance, which I like for you. So this says, the balm to your wounds lives in the spark that radiates love and brings healing to the world. The balm to your wounds lives in the spark that radiates love and brings healing to the world. This is what I meant when I said it's about your soul purpose. How are you making the world better than how you found it? This is especially for those of you who are healers, but also artists or people involved in work are meant to be here to make the world better than how they found it, especially as a Cancerian. That's very much in alignment, whether you're an artist or even a government worker. If there's some aspect of your work or even a hobby or volunteering that, helps your fellow human, key into that because there's a part of that that has a lot more room to grow. We'll put it that way. Your Mabon oracle, which is the autumnal equinox season, is whiskey, number 41. Life should be sipped slowly with intention. Be patient as the vision reveals itself. Life should be sipped slowly with intention. Be patient as the vision reveals itself. And that says Spirit Distillery there. Very clever. So what's interesting about this? Oh, well, it's whiskey, not wine. I saw you guys eating grapes as the King of Cups, but remember when I said in the meditation that I saw you guys taking a nap and then you woke up and things are quite different? It's interesting because this speaks about everything that's worthwhile takes its time. Be patient as the vision reveals itself. I feel like there's an aspect of this that speaks to those of you who like things now or yesterday and saying, you can nurture the seeds inside of you, the seeds of intention that want to grow into something that directly aligns with what is going to fuel your soul's purpose, right? But I honestly feel I'm looking at something that's going to, I'm hearing that that quote or that idea around, when tower moments happen, in our lives, when these big shifts happen and it's unwelcome and suddenly everything is disrupted and everything is just, you know, looks different in a moment's notice, right? Just in a second, everything can change. My experience, the tower is the great rearranger, right? The tower happens in our lives when we make more fear-based choices out of love-based choices. In my experience, that's what causes tower moments. So if we're looking at the tower energy in your reading, it's a really good opportunity to kind of take a life review and go, okay, well, how have I made more fear-based choices than love-based choices? Or where in my life have I chosen from fear and not love? And sometimes love can take the form of loving yourself enough to believe in yourself and take a risk, being willing to walk away from something that might be comfortable but isn't necessarily fulfilling, right? Something about that. Where have you made more fear-based choices than love-based choices? In what ways might you have been keeping yourself small? And what seeds, because this is what we're looking at now, the season of, planting seeds and harvesting, right? What seeds can you plant now and nurture within yourself so that when you come out of this time frame, right? What might have they grown into at that point when we're sitting here looking at, Samhain season, for example? I think you have a really good potential here to kind of look at your life in terms of a bigger picture. I feel like there's been an emphasis, especially with this Four of Wands in your place of challenge, where you've been taking things day by day or bite by bite, and you're really being asked to widen up the scope and really take some time to consider the ways in which you can really push yourself, really propel yourself to somewhere else. Are you living in a place of daring? Are you living in a place of challenge? Are you living in a way where you feel like your soul is being made to grow, right? Or were the conditions that you're allowing for growth? What do those look like? What do they feel like? What's that circumstance like? Because whatever this rose is within for you, right? And that's a symbol of love usually, it's not getting the light and water and nutrients that it needs. So, what could that be? Remember, Five of Pentacles is feeling separate or apart from where you belong or what you desire. And I do feel like for you, this guy, there's really something in your community or you being a healer or something about how you give back or how you're going to make the world a better place. And I feel like there's a huge opportunity for you here that could come along if you just take some time to be intentional about what you would want to manifest around that and be honest with yourself, right? I'm hearing look to 5 years ago. What did you want 5 years ago? What actions did you take to manifest or not manifest those things, right? 5 years ago was like year before COVID, right? That's interesting. Where were you in 2019? What were you working towards? What did you want? And what is your relationship? Do you still want the same things? But you've kind of gone down another path, right? COVID was a great rearranger. That was a huge tower moment, a huge collective tower moment. Maybe it's looking at your relationship to that and where you've come in the meantime, and also looking at it in terms of like, well, let me think about where I could be in another 5. I heard a quote recently. It says, I think I'm going to butcher it, but we often overestimate what we can do in a day, but underestimate what we could do in a year. And I feel like that is coming up for you in this reading. I feel like you have an opportunity here where it's preparing you for possibly like next year. So it's a really good early call time to take a look at some of this stuff. And I feel like that King of Cups taking a nap is another way of going like, what are your dreams? What are your dreams? Right? In the moonlight, in the moontime, what are your dreams, right? It's an interesting opportunity, Cancer, one that you are well equipped to take head on. And remember, when your advice is 10 of Pentacles, this is really about dreaming big, thinking big. What is your living legacy? Where do you want to be in the long term? What kind of legacy do you want to leave? Why are you here? If you were to die tomorrow, how would you feel about the work that you've done so far? Soul work, I mean, not how much money you've made. How would you feel in terms of your soul growth? Do you feel like you've done pretty well and you feel fulfilled on those levels? Or you still feel like there's quite a bit more to do, relationship wise, soul purpose wise, whatever that is for you. Something to think about, Cancer. So I'll leave that with you. I so hope that this helps and resonates. Tower moments are not ever comfortable, but they always incite the greatest transformation in our lives. So we can choose to look at them as the opportunities that they are and trust that where we're going to be on the other side of them, if we follow the path and use them as the catalyst for self reflection that they are meant to be, that we can end up in a place where it is so much bigger and better than we ever could have imagined landing if we had just continued on the coasting path that we were on previously. Spirit knows the best path, right? Our egos struggle with that a lot, but if you just align yourself with your higher self, with the will of a spirit, you'll find that your soul is living out its highest and best reality in the now time, which is beautiful. So, again, I so hope this helps and resonates. Please let me know in the comments below. I love chatting with you guys in the comments. Like, subscribe, all of that good stuff. And with that being said, I'm wishing you a very happy Lammas and Mabon season, wishing you a very happy harvest. And again, just thank you so much for being here. And as always, and most of all, thank you for being you and be well. Until next time.